Like when I see that they put each individual of color in the films in a dress sooner or later in Korea. I'll associate them down like why this large number of siblings must-wear dress that has happened to me Pope conventioning is appendages into her unique muscle man. Represent its one more confrontation in Hollywood. This time we have Kevin Hart and Dave Chappelle clashing over a few warned words. Clearly Kevin is standing up to Dave after he alluded to Kevin as a Hollywood mutt now in the event that that weren't an adequate number of words that need defending. Dave isn't keeping down. He has some a greater amount of Hollywood's most obscure privileged insights. And he's prepared to spill, so prepare as we bring a plunge into what caused this go head-to-head. And assuming there is still basically fruin between the two yet, before we get into it, make a point to offer the video a go-ahead and buy in to never pass up any new recordings. It's free and assists us with hugely bringing out new happy for your happiness. Did Kevin Hart sell his spirit for distinction well? That is what Dave Chappelle is talking about. He's at long last ending the quietness on the reports. And obviously he has a few contemplations we expected that he figures Kevin could have needed to do a couple of things he once swore he'd never do to become famous in the business. Now Dave, he's no more interesting to the tricks in Hollywood. He's seen a few bizarre contents, one of which requested that he wear a dress, yet you realize everybody has an off-limits area. And we are in general about a cent here, so Dave persevered and said no others anyway. Well, they could have been influenced with some additional money. I mean, we can see the signs today. This one individual tweeted it was inevitable before Drake transformed into terrible rabbit. To sell records, remove the gay from hip bounce on the off chance that homosexuality was regular. They wouldn't power rappers to be gay to sell records. And I'm worn out no one discussing it. And one more added Dave's statement, they attempted to place me in a dress like when I see that they put each person of color in the motion pictures in a dress eventually in profession. I've been interfacing them down like why this multitude of siblings must wear dress that has happened to me. It's the essayist comes in, I believe he's an author. He's like, Dave, listen, you got this diverting scene where Martin's escaping prison, so he camouflages you as the whore. And he put this dress on, and how much is whore know? I'm not doing that. I feel really awkward with it currently looking at the two comics. Kevin's been pretty secretive about the obscure side of popularity. Well, Dave, he has been exceptionally forthright about the difficulties that he has confronted, like he, in a real sense, left a stunning $50 million bargain. Yet he wasn't going to let the business fat cats give orders, so he plunged to South Africa on the low. One individual tweeted Dave Chappelle was approached to wear a dress. That is one reason that drove him to leave his $50 million bargain. That ought to have been in a conversation what you feel really awkward with it. I mean, it's a funny cycle. Every one of the greats have made it happen. So we have all the effortlessness has done. And it's sort of hacky, right? You're correct. So for what reason don't we simply not do it? Since I feel awkward wearing a dress, gracious, come on, Dave. Listen, we got everything set up. We should shoot each consistently. She squander costs this much cash. You realize the tension comes in. He said, I'm not wearing no dress, man. I'm more amusing than a dress. Yet here's what he didn't discard the money. He just dumped the strings connected to it. The man had standards, and he resembled nah. I won't be anybody's mannequin now. For the individuals who don't realize, back in 2006, there was this sagacious meeting that Chappelle did with the unbelievable Oprah Winfrey. They were examining how VIPs, as they arrived at the zenith of their vocations, frequently get offered enormous measures of cash and wind up losing their psyches. And to that Chappelle said, I return home and make the messes with some trustworthiness sandwiches. Well, you realize that is one approach to keeping them took care of, and on the correct way at any rate. It was reputed that Chappelle was truly open to getting back to his hit show, assuming that specific circumstances were met. And what were those conditions, you asked? Well, Chappelle needed an astounding portion of the DVD, continues to be given to good cause. Well, that is really exemplary, right? He needed to ensure his prosperity. was likewise helping those out of luck. Yet think about what funny TV neglected to fulfill his needs really. It's staggering the way in which a major organization can't see the worth in accomplishing something good for other people, yet subsequently, in July of 2006, Fun Times TV chose to deliver the third and last time of Chappelle's show with no contribution from the man himself, which needed to have been a hard disaster for Dave. It's like they just felt free to do whatever they might want to do avoiding him with regards to the image completely, so all things being equal dead, they depended on Charlie Murphy and Donnell Rawlings to have the live fragments and named them the lost episodes. Currently, might you at any point see the incongruity here? They in a real sense named the episodes lost, practically sort of recognizing the way that they lost something significant when they lost Chappelle's contribution. Unquestionably, it's a disgrace when organizations focus on their own advantages over those of the skilled people who are making the substance that the crowds love. Yet, hello, Dave Chappelle isn't one to be hushed. He remained as delegated in any event when the business could have done without it. And you understand what that sort of honesty and assurance that is commendable. It makes him an extraordinary humorist, as well as a good example for adhering to his standards. And hello, everybody has their own options, right? So Kevin's way is Kevin's direction. And Dave's way as well, you know the Chappelle way, yet you realize that is not every last bit of it. Dave Chappelle, he spelled some serious tea about the insane stuff he lived in Hollywood and what he saw before he turned down that monstrous Fun Times TV bargain is crazy. So the business fat cats believed him should wear a dress on screen, and he resembled not happening. That is simply not his style. You know, he won't be pushed around that way. Yet here's the insane part. He believes that there's a connivance continuing, definitely like some kind of slippery plot to make dark male entertainers wear dresses before they can raise a ruckus around town. Time in Hollywood. Like I said, crazy. Yet you understand what he isn't the one in particular who went through this wreck. Even Martin Lawrence got messed up in it too. They needed the two of them to shake dresses for some film. And they said, nah, that is not cool. This is certainly not an oddball thing. It resembles an example. Dark male entertainers experience the intensity to put on dresses and play misrepresented renditions of person of color. Hollywood. What are you thinking? Fans were clearly shocked. One individual tweeted, Dave Chappelle discusses how Hollywood attempted to inspire him to wear a dress. They are over and again attempting to go after our brains with pessimistic promulgation. And we need to comprehend the media is the main outlet used to keep up with the arrangement of racial oppression. Awaken. One more added, they did likewise to Dave Chappelle as Kenny when they need to feminize him by constraining him to wear a dress. And he wouldn't. Every one of the media said he was insane and had a fit of anxiety, saying with Martin Lawrence, and you simpletons let them inspire you to destroy your own men. Now Kevin Hart, then again, was evidently open to doing anything the craftsmanship and industry requested from him, which clearly didn't agree with Dave. Chappelle has had a few provocative experiences about his own encounters, as well as about different superstars like Kevin Hart. It's intriguing to perceive how he brought up that even somebody like Hart, who had expressed in the past that he wouldn't wear a dress for a job, wound up doing precisely what on SNL. It resembles he made a think twice about his standards. A few fans couldn't resist the opportunity to contemplate whether the draw of distinction and progress in Hollywood assumed a part in that choice. And you realize what is happening raises a more extensive inquiry concerning media outlets and the possible impact of those mysterious social orders on Hollywood. It could seem like something straight out of a paranoid fear. Yet a few jokesters like Cat Williams have transparently spoken about their confidence in such a peculiarity. As per them, there's this mysterious society that purportedly controls the diversion business, and being a piece of it probably opens ways to acclaim and achievement. Now, obviously, not every person gets involved with this thought, yet it starts a few intriguing conversations about how choices are made in the amusement world. Does outcome in Hollywood truly come down to joining some strange gathering? Or is it more about ability and difficult work one of those subjects can separate conclusions? And it's captivating the number of individuals that decipher the activities and selections of VIPs. Distinctively genuinely props today for standing up and focusing a light on that silliness. Really now is the ideal time to allow gifted individuals to take care of their responsibilities without being compelled into unusual jobs, to allow them to act naturally, or to do the demonstration in their zone would prefer without holding that proviso over their heads. And presently Dave Chappelle, expert of parody and parody.